Cool. Welcome everyone. Again, yeah. So we do, I think it's 15 minutes of Kirtan and then a guided session, and then a talk and then dinner. You remember from previous visits? So, all right, cool. Yeah, all right. So I'll just offer respects to my spiritual teacher. That'll be the first couple of mantras. Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Siddhaswarapananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Siddhaswarapananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Your turn. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Haribo Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Haribo. Haribo Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Haribo. Haribo Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Haribo. Haribo Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Haribo. Haribo Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. 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 Let's chant together. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. 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 Keep going. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. One last time. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. So welcome everyone. That's Kirtan meditation. So focusing on the sound of these spiritual sound, these mantras, just relaxing in the sound. No need to focus on anything other than the sound. No need to visualize. And so we're going to be doing lots of that throughout the evening. So I'd like to invite, I think, Amir, are you coming forward? Yeah? Okay, cool. And we're going to do a guided session. So a little bit different, but still with mantra. So.
All right, Hare Bol, everyone, welcome. So we are going to have some guided mindfulness, and then at the end we do a bit of attentive listening, so a good avenue to explore. So please sit in a very comfy position for me, very relaxed, shoulders back, heads upright, and gently close your eyes. So we start by focusing on our breath. Breath is a wonderful gift. There are different reasons why yogis like to use breath as part of an enabler for their meditation. Number one, as long as the living entity is in the body, the breath is going to be there. There's nothing more gentle than the touch of the breath at the opening of our nostril. Focusing on our breath allows us to avoid going to the past or future or thinking about different places. It helps us to live in the present moment. We tend to inhale through the nose for a couple of reasons, more actually, but number one, nose filters the air. And number two, there is a subtle energy chakra at the back of our nasal cavity. And by inhaling through the nose, it allows us to absorb the subtle energy called chi or prana in the air. So let's take a couple of deep breaths in through our nose. Deep breath in and see how your chest and belly expand. And deep breath out. And see how your chest and belly contract. One more time together. Deep breath in. And out. So you find that your inward breath is so refreshing and outward breath is relaxing. We are now going to add the mantra Gauranga to our practice. Turn this pre-meditation effort into a proper meditation technique. Gauranga has 4 syllables. Go, ra, anga. It means the golden Lord of love. Quite an amazing mantra to meditate upon. So we are going to join the guys in the background. taking deep breath in, and on the exhale we are going to say Gauranga. So let's listen to a couple of more, and then we join the guys in the background. All right, let's join. Deep breath in. Gauranga. Let's do two more. Keep your eyes closed, and without repeating the mantra, just allow it to resonate in your mind, washing away all the worries you might be holding in your mind. So we are now going to become aware of our existence. Be aware that right now you exist in this room wearing your particular clothing. And while you have your eyes closed, visualize how your body looks right now. Go over different features of your body, your hair, your face, the shape of your body, your height, and so on. Let's now go back 10 years in time and try to visualize your body 10 years ago. Perhaps by remembering a photograph of yourself back then. And do the same process. Just go over different features of your body back then, like the hair and face and shape of your body. Any gray hair that you've got today, which you didn't have back then. Any face wrinkles that you have today that you didn't have then. Or have you got skinnier or chubbier? And so on. And let's now go back to your childhood. Another scenario. So in this third scenario, bring in mind one of your photographs when you were a 3-year-old child. And simply follow the same process. Go over different features of your body back then. The hair, the face, how tall your body was back then, so on and so forth. Bearing this whole thing in mind, just bringing a fact from science, medical science. According to medical sciences, every 5 to 7 years, nearly all the molecules in our body get replaced with the new ones. Meaning that the body we had 7 years ago doesn't actually exist today. My childhood body is dead today, but I'm not. Ask yourself the question, am I my body? Well, you may wonder if I'm not my body, perhaps I'm my mind. But we often say, my mind's driving me crazy, which actually indicates our lack of full control over the mind. Thus, we can't be the mind either. Who am I then? If I'm not the body, if I'm not the mind, who am I? The Vedic scriptures have the answer for us. Remember, this is the most important question we should be asking in our life. And our life will simply be wasted if we don't do that. According to Bhagavad-Gita, who we are is, we are all effulgent, eternal, spiritual beings, unborn and therefore undying, ever existing. We are simply having a journey on earth, experience right now, through this avatar, this physical body we have. So these wonderful mantras we are chanting tonight allow us, spirit souls, to experience union with our spiritual source and essence, and to experience the happiness we have always longed for. So without further ado, I'm going to do a couple of minutes of Gauranga on guitar. This is attentive listening. So you don't need to repeat the mantra. Just please focus on the mantra Gauranga, this beautiful mantra, and try to welcome it into your ear and your mind and heart. just rest and relax in this beautiful mantra. So please bring your focus back to the room and become aware of the room and people around you. And you can now gently open your eyes. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I would like to invite our dear friend Jiva Krishnadas to come and give us some words of wisdom. Jiva, could you please come forward? Hare Bol.
Hey, namaste everybody, welcome. So yeah, we're just this part of the night, just for about 30 minutes or so before we have a short dinner break. We're just going to speak a little bit about this practice that we do and in connection with spiritual development. So just before we do that, I always like to offer respect to my teacher, Jagaguru Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Good? Okay. So this is, this offering respect to our teachers. Sometimes we do it openly, sometimes silently, or sometimes in the mind. But usually, myself and the other different people that are teaching here, we always do that. It's very important because. Like in my case, I'm going to try and get across a few ideas tonight, but it's not me, it's not my ideas or there's no credit to me. I'm simply receiving this information. This is the way of yoga, or the way of yoga teaching. It's handed down and collected, very with two hands like this. Thank you. And it's like that in any kind of knowledge, though, really, isn't it? You know, although these days I'm not so sure, but back when I went to school, you had respect for the teachers. I'm not so sure that's the case these days. But once upon a time, people used to have respect for their teachers. Why? Because it was recognised, oh, we're receiving something of value here, whether it was mathematics or this particular area of expertise or whatever. In martial arts especially, it's still like that. They bow to the kung fu guru or master, however they call them. And so it's very natural. It's not a anything really unusual. The general principle is, of course, the more valuable the knowledge, and there's different degrees of value, right? The more value, then the more respect is shown. If you're receiving something of great value, then we offer it. So this is what we do here, because this knowledge we received, it's of great value. I wanted to, just speak a little bit about. So the source of this knowledge, there's different yoga texts or Vedic texts, as they're sometimes called, that have originated from India, and then from there, this knowledge has spread to other places all over the world. If we go back into ancient history, it's generally acknowledged that India was the original cradle of spiritual knowledge, so to say. And one of the written sources, go back, really way back into history, into what they call, is often referred to as time immemorial. You may have heard of that expression. Since time immemorial, this knowledge has been handed down. In other words, you can go so far back that it's lost to memory. The sources are difficult to trace out. But at one point, approximately 5,000 years ago, some of this knowledge was written down in the form of the Bhagavad-Gita. And tonight, we could speak a lot about the Bhagavad-Gita, but tonight I just want to read one quote from the Bhagavad-Gita. And it's in connection with the idea that, whenever people, come to, a little meeting like this, or a little small little group of people, and we, talk a little bit about, spiritual understanding and so on. Sometimes people, get the, as soon as you say spiritual, sometimes people think, oh, religion, or the other way around, or religion or spirit. So there's a little bit of, uncertainty as to what these terms mean. What does it mean, religion? What does it mean, spirituality? Are they the same thing? So I don't want to get into a big, thing about that tonight. We do that maybe we could do that on another occasion. We do it every now and again, have that discussion. But tonight I just wanted to mention something about the Bhagavad-Gita, which is different people have, commented on what it is. What is it? Is it a religious text? Is it a spiritual text? Is it what? And, many of the commentaries, in fact, the commentary of one of it, not my teacher, but my teacher's teacher, he referred to it as, it's a combination of science, philosophy, and spirituality. So, you might figure how does that work? These three seems to be quite distinct things: science, spirituality, philosophy. And I just want to read a quote in connection with that, which will maybe help, give you a bit of an idea of what the distinction is. So take me a moment to get organised here. Very old school, as you can see. Paper and handwritten writing. What's going on? Where does this guy come from? Okay, so this is chapter from chapter 2, verse 16. So those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent there is no endurance, and of the eternal there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. So maybe I'll just read it once again. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent there is no endurance, and of the eternal there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. So there's two really sort of important points I wanted to try and get across. The first point, I'll just mention the second one quickly. They have concluded by studying the nature of both. It's really important that basically this is referring to a study of both, not just spiritual knowledge, but material knowledge as well. So in other words, people often have the idea, all you spiritual people, you're just, up there in the clouds and you're not very scientific and like that, and you have all this faith, but you're not very down to earth and you don't, analyse things properly like us. So that, the second part of that verse, by studying the nature of both. So this is the way of yoga. It's not, this is what it's meant by science. We study the material nature, and that can be done. And so we'll come back to that. And part of that study is what was referred to in the first part of the verse, that of the non-existent there is no endurance, and of that which is of the existent is eternal. So there's two different natures being spoken about here: material nature, spiritual nature. And so this is the science of yoga, to understand the distinction. And the way, a question came up, some of you are here, a question came up about what does it mean by the illusory energy a few weeks ago. And it simply refers to, sometimes material nature is referred to as the illusory energy, and it simply refers to the fact that it's always changing, and therefore it's illusory. Just like if you look in the mirror tonight when you go home, and you'll see a reflection in the mirror, you'll see your reflection of your face, right? It's going to be a certain way. But just imagine now if you could stay in front of that mirror for the next 60 years without moving, and imagine what it would look like in 60 years. It's not going to be the same, is it? It's going to be wrinkled and craggy and not very attractive anymore. So this is what it's meant by the illusory energy. You think it's a certain way. Now the change is very slow, admittedly, but it's going on from moment to moment to moment to moment, so slowly that it's imperceptible. We don't think it's not happening, but it is happening, and so we know that. So this is what's referred to, that the material nature is temporary. This is one of the key aspects of all yoga knowledge and the path of yoga, is to really get that and never lose sight of it, because we do lose sight of it. You look in the mirror and you think, yeah, I'm young and pretty, I'm going to stay that way forever. No. So this is part of the study of material nature. This is what it's meant. The seers have concluded by studying both material and spiritual nature. And the spiritual nature, the soul, the consciousness, that you can study to a certain degree too. The like Amir was just a few minutes ago was touching on it, that you can, I won't do it again, but basically by introspection you can understand that you, as distinct from your body now, you, the conscious, aware person, you do stay the same. Your body will change, but the conscious awareness, like I'm getting on in years now, but I still feel like exactly the same person I was all those years ago. It's the same me. Does everybody feel like that? I'm the same me that I was, looking, some of you are 30, 40, 50. But you can still feel like, it's the same me that was here 50 years ago or whenever you were a little kid. It's the same me. So that is the constant nature of the self or the soul, even though the body is changing. So this is what it's meant by, this is the science of yoga. This is something you can actually understand with our intellectual abilities. So it's not a question of faith anymore. It's simply a question of understanding. Now, admittedly, this type of this understanding has its limits. It can only take us so far. It can take us to a point where we appreciate, yes, there is this constancy, there is this, when the Bhagavad-Gita says, the soul is eternal, unchanging. Yeah, I can get that. But it only takes us that our intellectual understanding only takes us so far. So then we have to, adopt another process. We adopt another aspect of gaining knowledge, and that's the process of receiving information. It's like we receive this information from the Bhagavad-Gita. There's so many different aspects of yoga knowledge to receive. So I just want to mention that in general, that sometimes, people, think religion, what is religion, what is science, what is, philosophy. These things are all kind of combined in the Bhagavad-Gita. And so that's the basic stage of understanding the difference between the self and the body. And from there we understand that we can go on and receive information of how the spirit, the soul, is not just self-manifested. I could ask anybody here, you're a conscious, aware person. Did any of us just decide we were going to come into existence? We didn't. Neither on the bodily, not from the angle of looking at the body, and not from the spiritual angle either. It's described in the Bhagavad-Gita how the soul is like a little part and parcel of the supreme cause or original source. So these are the basic foundations, founding principles of yoga. And then from there, we can very naturally understand that it's very, it automatically follows on what we should be doing with our life. We should be tuning into our own spiritual nature, that which is lasting, which is not going to fade away, and tune into our relationship with the Supreme. So that's yoga in a nutshell. And the trick is, of course, that it's not that easy, even for those of us, and, pretty much everybody here, looking around, I think just about everybody here has done a little bit of Kirtan, a little bit of meditation with us. And that meditation is what helps us stay afloat, so to speak, and not get sucked into the temporariness of everything. You know, there's this saying, you might have heard it, I think it comes from the Bible, I forget which verse, but which part of the Bible, but it's kind of cool verse. So, don't build your house on the seashore at low tide. Have you heard of that one? Anybody heard of that? No one? Well, think about it. Don't build your house on the seashore at low tide. And, of course, nobody does that, right? Except we do it. In our life, that's exactly what so many of us do. We build we get it together, and, we struggle to create our material situation. Spend so many years in college trying to get a degree, and then, which unfortunately a lot of people do, find out that degree doesn't really help them get a job. Some degrees are like that. They spend a lot of money getting this qualification, a little piece of paper, and then you can't even get a good paying job with it. So this is not wrong. We've all, we live in the world. We're not unrealistic here. The way of yoga, if nothing else, it's very down to earth as well. It's not, we pay attention. We, look at all of us. We're wearing clothes, right? They got made by somebody that cost money. We're living in Melbourne where it's cold. You've got to have a heater. You've got to have jackets. You've got to, so many things. We have to get by, so we do that. That's part of yoga. It's not like we all got to strip off and go and live naked up in the mountains or anything. Some people do, but you don't have to. So we do all these things, but we never. But while we're doing that, while we're, getting by in our life, and while we're looking after ourselves, so to speak, we never lose sight of this principle. Don't build your house on the shore at low tide. Don't think this is going to last forever. Yes, if we got a, one time a girl asked my spiritual teacher, is it okay, talking about the path of yoga and how you live, and she was saying, is it okay to own your own home? And he said, yeah, it's fine, not a problem. So long as if it comes easy, for one reason or another, if it comes easy, then yeah, why not? That's a smart thing to do. So you don't have to worry about the landlords and the hassles of getting kicked out and moving and all that. So yeah, do that if it comes easy. But if it's a struggle and you just, really got to just make that your whole goal and your whole life, then you might want to think twice about it, whether it's worth that struggle. Because don't forget, the tide's going to come in. That's what we're saying. So whatever we need to do in our own, each one of us is an individual. We all have our own individual situations. It's not like you join a club when you take up the path of meditation. We're not joining a club. We come here tonight and, to support each other. It makes it nice to meditate when you're with other people, and we're chanting these beautiful yoga mantras. It makes it really easy, but it's not like a club that you join and we're all in it, we'll go and sleep in the same house at night or something. No. Well, sometimes you do. Sometimes you might have a friend and you gradually, this is natural. This happens in any kind of social interaction. But on more broadly speaking, each one of us is an individual. And, you figure out how you're going to get by, but never, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do, but this is the advice of the yoga this is the advice of yoga wisdom of the Bhagavad-Gita, that don't lose sight of that fact that this whole material scene is temporary. And that's why it's called illusory. It keeps changing. Imperceptibly, but it is. It's changing all the time. And each one of you as an individual will know, have your own version of that, how this temporariness has affected you. Busted relationships, getting older, all the different material things that change. Maybe you had a good job for a while, and then somehow, for one reason or another, you lost it. So these are the fortunes of material life that come and go according to our karma and according to our desires. We can adjust that to some extent, but you're never going to adjust the general thing that we're talking about. It's all temporary. So this is what meditation is all about. It's meant to help us transcend the temporary, even as we're living in the temporary, ever-changing situation, just changing all the time. We do what we can, we get married, we have partners, we maybe have children, maybe not. Whatever our own circumstances are, we always understand that's temporary, and it's going to be, the tide's coming in, as we say. So this is what this meditation is. It's no small thing. I don't want to get too serious, but it's fun. But there's a there's a serious side to it if you want to see it that way. Generally, we don't though. Generally, we do. Once your understanding kind of matures a little bit and you become a little bit more solid in this understanding that, yep, this is temporary and this is not temporary and this is where I'm heading. I want to head for that which is not temporary, the spiritual. Then, you're just naturally moving that way, and, it's not so serious anymore. It's just, this is what we're doing. Moving ahead with understanding. So, the seers have concluded this by studying the nature of both. So it's not like, we're making this up. Anybody here can understand what we've been talking about, temporariness of material nature, and maybe, in the beginning, having a little faith. Yes, faith does come into it as far as these actual transcendental knowledge, having faith that there is a supreme source and so on. But even that becomes a science as well, because what's science mean? Someone comes up with a theory and they make a proposal and then they test it. Isn't that how they do it? They test it, they'll make some experiment and then they'll prove the theory or disprove the theory. So even in yoga, it's like that as well. Even in the higher stages of yoga, it's like you can test this meditation practice by the result. I'm gonna try this meditation and see what the result. And I'm not going to tell you what to experience. You can do that, have that yourself. But for many of us, for myself and some of my friends that I know, we've experienced something very wonderful. We experience to a greater and greater degree this reality that, yes, I am spiritual in essence. I am connected to the original cause. And this can be experienced. So yes, you may need a little faith in the beginning, but it's just like any other science experiment. So if anybody's got a question about any of this, I'll try and answer, or if not, we'll have a little meditation just before we serve some dinner. Is that okay? Is that too intense? I'm not crazy, am I? Sorry. Yes. 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 That's another. Yeah, there's so many things that, I mean, what I just spoke about earlier was just hardly anything. There's just a little drop of yoga understanding. But yeah, that's a really important point. This process of meditation, like we're all, we're living in this material world, and we're all affected by karmic reaction, what we've done in the past. This is why, you know, we all, as we make our way through life, we are, you know, experiencing so many different things. You know, some of it's, oh, this is not having a good day today, and then next day, bad day. This is, you know, karma. We're reaping what we have previously sown, good karma, bad karma. So it's said that by engaging in this meditation, it's like a lot of our karmic debt is being forgiven, so to speak. It's being washed away, was another way to understand it, or burned off sometimes. In the yoga texts, they use different analogies to describe these things, but getting washed away or cleansed. You sometimes use the example of, you know, like, you know, when your body's dirty, if you go and do a hard day's work in the garden, you're full dirt everywhere, warm shower, oh, that feels good. You're getting cleansed. All the dirt is being washed away. So similarly, when we engage in this chanting meditation, we're hearing these transcendental sound vibrations, or the names of God, the names of the Supreme. They have the purifying power to wash away a lot of the karmic debt we have. There's some, you know, verses. I don't have it on hand. Can't think of it off the bat, but it's said that even just a little bit of sincere meditation can wash away so much negative karmic reaction. So, and that's why, you know, at the end of a meditation session, most people just kind of cruise out, you know, feeling pretty good. You know, it's like, what was that all about? I've seen it many times that people, you know, who and this happens even if you're unaware of it. This is the even truly amazing part. This cleansing will happen even whether you believe in it or not, or whether you don't believe in it, or whether you're understanding it or not. This happens automatically just from these sound vibrations. Just like you go under the shower, you don't have to believe in water or anything. It's going to work. Well, the other example, you know, that we often give is like, you know, the sun, or you know, you go out in the sun. It's got nothing to do with having faith in the warmth of the sun, has it? The sun's got its own power. You're going to experience that. So similarly, this meditation is exactly like that. And the only thing that prevents that automatic cleansing, in a sense, is if it'll happen. It happens by degrees, and what can prevent it from happening is if you consciously reject it. You know, in other words, you kind of like, someone might come into this situation like we're having now. We're going to be chanting and so on. A lot of people come in and just, this is not, they don't even know what it is, and they sit down. You know, we've had people like the Pied Piper, you know, they hear the sound from out in the street and they'll wander up the stairs just from passing by. So they'll come to it. But so that's all fine, you're getting that purification like that. But if for one reason or another, you know, a person consciously is rejecting it in their mind, you know, like, you know, I don't like this, and then yes, the purifying effect won't be so great. You know, or it's kind of like if you go and have a shower and you put an umbrella up, you know, it's like you're not going to experience. But other than that, this purification will be happening, and washes away so much bad karma, so much karmic reaction that it's amazing. Thank you for asking the question, because you reminded me of a really wonderful aspect of this chanting. Sometimes I'm getting on a bit in years, or sometimes my memory's not that good. I forget different things, and someone will say something like, "Oh, yes, sorry." You'll have if you keep doing this meditation, you'll have many moments like that, and even because all this knowledge that we've been talking about, each one of us has that already. This is another amazingly wonderful thing. Each one of us has that. We're eternally spiritual in essence, and our connection with the Supreme is already there. It's done. It's been forgotten. It's lost. It's covered up. We're like, little runaway children in a sense who've forgotten where we came from. We're like orphans. And then, but sometimes you might hear some spiritual knowledge and go, "Oh yes, I remember. Yes, it touches you in the heart a little bit." So, thank you. Okay, so I think, So we're going to just serve some dinner up in a moment, and I'm just going to chant for a few minutes while that's happening. Gopala Govinda, Gopala Govinda, Rama Adana Mohana, Gopala Govinda, Rama Adana Mohana, Gopala Govinda, Rama Dana Mohana, Gopala Govinda, Rama Dana Gopala Govinda, Rama Dana Mohana, Gopala Govinda, Gopala Govinda, Rama Dana Mohana, Gopala Govinda, Rama Dana Mohana, Gopala Govinda, Rama Dana Mohana, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Okay, so that's it. Everybody, please, hopefully the meal's going to be good, and we'll be back soon and chant some more.
Free starting from next Tuesday night. So it's every Tuesday night, I think 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the speaker is Maha Bhagavad-Gita, our dear friend from Hawaii. It's quite an amazing course. Hasn't done this course for quite a long time. It's a unique opportunity, and the tickets are quite limited. So if you would like to register and you haven't received the invite, feel free to message us on the Facebook page, Gokula House Facebook page, and we send you the registration link. Hopefully by that time there are still seats available. All right, so we get started. My name is Amir and this is Afroz. We're going to have 20 minutes chant tonight, a couple of tunes. And we start with Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and Hari Bol Nitai Gaur. So if you are not familiar with the mantras, feel free to grab one of the mantra sheets from there. All right, shall we start? Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, all together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Louder, louder.
Hare Rama.
I don't hear you.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Beautiful.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Your turn.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Very nice.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Let's do together. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. More. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Beautiful. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari. We can even go louder. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. All together. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Two more together. Hare Krishna, louder, louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Last one. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys. So we just do a 5 minutes mellow one, and then process our beer, please. All right. So the mantra we are going to chant now is Om Hari Om. Quite nice and easy. And then we may switch to Chaitanya Nichinanda Haribol. All right. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Your turn.
Hari Om. Om Hari Om.
Om Hari Om. Om Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol
Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol,
Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol
Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol,
Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol
Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol,
Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol
Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol,
Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol
Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol,
Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol
Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol,
Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol
Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol, Chaitanya, Nityananda
Together.
Haribol,
Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol. Everybody. Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol
Chaitanya,
Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Haribol Chaitanya, Go on, go on. Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol 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 Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol. One more. Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol Chaitanya, Nityananda Haribol. Hari-om. Hari Bol, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And we now would like to invite our dear friend Tadat Manadas to come and chant with us. And guess what? That's his birthday. Happy birthday, Tad. You finally turned to 25.
Like Jiva's talk earlier, it's all an illusion. Someone asked me, who asked me? Someone asked me today, do you feel old? And I said, no, I still feel like I'm 16. That's why I get into so much trouble. Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsi Ti Namine. Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Kore Karuna Swarupaya Radhe Krishna Prastayate Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gauratavinda Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gauratavinda Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Haribo. Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Haribo. Nityananda Balaram, Nityananda Balaram, Nityananda Balaram, Haribo. Nityananda Balaram, Nityananda Balaram, Nityananda Balaram, Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga, 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 Haribo. Govinda Rama Matana Mohana. All right, let's get this straight. There's two ways of singing this. One is that we sing it the whole mantra through like that, and the second way is that we do it at the same time. Like this is the first way. So I'll do the whole mantra and then you do the whole mantra. And I'll say change. and we'll see if we can keep up. For those of you that have fond remembrance of Deep Purple, it's an old Deep Purple number. It's not like the original, of course. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madonna, Mohana. Your turn. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madonna, Mohana. Didn't get it at all. It's truth. Oh, well, let's do the other one. Gopala, you go. Govinda, you go. Rama, Madonna, Mohana. Gopala, Govinda, 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 Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, That was very good. You finally got it. More. We heard our spiritual master talking the other night, and he asked that, he said, have a chant, but not a funeral. It's not a funeral. And so that's been sticking in my head. I'm thinking, God, most of my chants are really slow.
Are you saying you're at the Queen?
What's that?
Are you saying you're at the Queen?
Queen is Radharani.
Yeah, it's
The king is Krishna.
Krishna. Long live Krishna.
I'll just do one short one and then we'll be Jiva Krishna Das. Excuse me. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana 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 Gopala Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama 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 Madana Mohana Hare Bol, guys. Thank you. Judah Krishna House. Okay, hey. Gopala, Gopala, Govinda, Govinda, 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 Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare
It's called Sane Insanity. Clever, huh?
Have you got something more upbeat?
What?
Something more upbeat.
No.
More.
Sort of, we'll do a sort of a cruising one. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Okay, we've just got time for one more quick one. And, we've got a special guest musician on this one. See if you can figure out who it is. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Bol. That's for you. That's for you, Rita. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, we used to do that many times in the olden days. Way before then. Okay, so that's it. Everybody, namaste. Thank you all, everybody, all our contributors, which is everybody here. And give yourselves a Hare Bol. Thank you. And thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed our meditation session, and you know, there's more. If you check the program, you'll know there's more Kirtan sessions during the week after the yoga classes. So come for those. And other than that, we'll see you next week. Hari Bol. Thank you. Namaste.